Hi there, and welcome to my weekly live series where I'm going to be sharing every Tuesday at lunchtime. I'm going to be sharing with you some key insights and tips to help you to navigate your career and leadership path from senior to C-suite and anywhere in between. So this series is going to be all about helping you to seamlessly navigate your path, wherever that may be, wherever you want to get to next. Maybe it is to create more impact and influence in the role that you're in right now, or maybe it is to progress the next level in your leadership path or your career path. So that's what I want to be sharing with you every week here on a Tuesday. And today is going to be the first day of that Senior to C-Suite series. So today I am sharing with you one thing that is crucial to articulating your value and increasing your visibility towards achieving the next level of impact and influence that you want in your career and leadership. So that's really what I want to talk to you about today. So over the next number of weeks, I'm going to be talking about different topics, all related to helping you to progress and move the needle in your career and your leadership. So if there are any topics at all that you want me to speak about over the next few weeks, drop me an email or pop it in the comments. And absolutely, if it's an area that I believe I can certainly talk about and support you in, I will certainly do that. So please do share that with me and drop me a message and I'd be happy to do that. So I suppose the purpose of doing these weekly series, this weekly live videos with you, is because I see so many people, of all of the people I coach on a day-to-day basis, there's so many common challenges people face when they're making that step from, senior manager to C-suite or anywhere in between. I mean, you don't need to want to go all the way to C-suite, but even to get into a senior leadership role, I see a lot of really talented individuals who are getting stuck. And they have a wonderful experience behind them. They really have some great value to offer at the next level, but they're just not really sure how to navigate their way through the challenges that you will face when you move up in your career. So I've spoken about this in a number of my videos before around the fact that there is a different mindset and approach required as you progress up the corporate ladder, or as you move across wherever you want to get in your career. Maybe you want to have a lateral move, maybe you want to just really influence more effectively where you are. But when you're looking to create more influence and impact, sometimes without authority, there are some tweaks definitely you have to be able to make. And unfortunately, if we don't understand what they are and how to go about them, we will get stuck exactly where we are and we won't be able to move forward. So before I continue, just by way of introduction, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anne Caulfield. I am an accredited executive and leadership coach and career strategist, working with senior leaders within organizations and independent of organizations to progress and succeed in senior leadership roles, and helping them to build their influence and impact and progress from being technically competent to a senior leader in their organization. So as I've already said, there is a different mindset and approach required when you take that step into senior leadership. And as I said, unfortunately, so many people underestimate that step, and it's where they struggle to move successfully into a senior leadership role. And that's what I'm here to help you to do. And I want this weekly series, which I've called Senior to C-Suite, to help you to start thinking about, how you can make that path more seamless for yourself, how you can navigate that path forward, and take what I'm sharing with you here each week and put into action so that it can help you on that path. So as I've said, today I want to start with speaking about the importance of being able to articulate your value. And when we think about articulating our value, or when people speak about articulating their value, people come at it from all different angles. But what's really, really important is that we need to be able to ensure that we're doing it in such a way that is going to allow those who need the value that we have to offer understand what it is we have to offer, so we can make that connection and join the dots between what we have to offer and what is needed out there, so that people actually can connect with us. So that can be within your team, it can be within your organization, or it can be within your industry, right? So really making that connection. And what that does, it makes everything easier for everybody, right? It makes it easier for you to be able to connect with where you can bring the most value within your team, within your organization or beyond. But also it helps those who actually need what you have to offer. It helps them to actually come and connect with you and get the support that's needed. And as I said, there's so many talented individuals out there who haven't got this for themselves. They really haven't understood how to articulate their value in the right way, and it is standing in their way. So before I get into sharing with you how you can do that, I wanted to help you, first of all, to understand what does it really mean, and what do I mean right now when I talk about articulating your value? Because, of course, this is a really broad topic and subject, but when I speak about articulating your value in your career and your leadership, what I'm talking about is when your peers, colleagues, stakeholders, when they know who you are and what you do, when they know what you stand for, and when they know where you bring the most value and impact. And this might sound very simplistic, but the answers to all those questions are extremely important. And I know for a fact, some people here might not be able to answer even all those questions right now. Okay. So if you can't answer those questions, how can you expect somebody else to even know what they are? Okay. So, but when we do this well, what happens is that you will get the opportunities to demonstrate your value, right? You will make that connection. You will be able to join the dots between what you have to offer, the value you have, and connection with those who actually need that value. You'll also get rewarded for your contribution, and you feel that sense of satisfaction and accomplishment that comes with that motivates and drives you forward and gives you that energy to find the next thing, the area where you can provide even more value. It'll also help you to get into a space of growth, a further growth from where you're at right now. It also helps you to build a strong personal brand and get known for a specific area of expertise. So you need to be known for something. We don't want to blend in. We want to be able to stand out. And with that, you'll also be able to build advocates, those who can stand over what you do and who really, speak about you highly when you're not in the room and be able to recommend you. You're building a reputation when you do this. And also that allows you to influence without authority. Okay, so this is what happens when we are able to articulate our value. So unfortunately, though, sometimes, and unfortunately a lot of the time, what happens is we're not doing that so well. And why are we not doing that very well? So some of the reasons, not all, some of the reasons can be for this is that sometimes we're only sharing our recent value. We're only basing the value that we're speaking about on recent successes and not building a strong, credible profile of our track record, right? So what that does, it only gives you some recent expertise and recent level of credibility, I should say, in that space, when in actual fact, you probably a lot of credibility going well before that. The other thing that happens for people is that they're assuming others know the value they offer. Are you doing that? Are you assuming others know the value you have to offer? Therefore, why should you have to explain that to others? We also believe that our results speak for ourselves. So we achieve this. Sure, everybody's seen it. Everybody's as observers. Not everybody has seen it. Not everybody has understood what it actually took you to get to that place. So leaving your results speak for themselves is a big mistake because, not everybody's going to appreciate what was necessary for you to achieve what you did. Everybody's not going to understand the skills you developed, the skills you used, what were the challenges you had to overcome, etc., etc. So that's another area people make a mistake on. They let the results speak for themselves. Also, people feel uncomfortable with sharing with others the value they can offer, and they prefer to demonstrate first, right? So again, it's going back to kind of like, letting our results speak for themselves. But this is a great idea and is something that is wonderful to do, of course. However, there is a missed opportunity here for those who have not had the opportunity to demonstrate your value. So, if you haven't yet had an opportunity to demonstrate your value, there is another way around doing that. And unfortunately, people leave that to waiting until they get the opportunity. But it's like, well, you're not going to be able to get the opportunity sometimes until you actually can be able to articulate your value. So you build that credibility and trust with others to give you the opportunity, and I often hear people talk about this, saying that, and I know I've experienced it myself, and that, okay, right, if only I could get that opportunity, I'd be able to demonstrate what I have to offer, right? So it's really, when you can articulate your value in a number of different ways, that allows you to overcome this obstacle, which a lot of people find themselves in. The other area that the mistake that people make is that they're trying to reverse engineer what they believe the organization or industry needs so that they can bring the value. So they're starting at the outside. And a lot of people might think, well, isn't that not a good thing to do? It's only a good thing to do once you know first the value that you have to offer, and you really pen down and articulate to yourself the value that you have to offer specifically and the area you want to provide value into the future, right? So reverse engineering yourself into a place where you believe you'll be able to provide value is not a good idea. It's not a good idea, and it results in not really getting you into an area where you're providing the value and impact that actually is going to motivate you and drive you forward. Okay. So, because really, I don't encourage you to do this, because this approach is starting from the wrong place, and it will not connect you to where you can actually be of the most value and where you can bring the most impact as well as fulfillment. So these are just some of the obstacles people face when they are not really articulating their value in the best way that they could. So how do you move beyond that? And I suppose today I want to share a few things with you of how you can start thinking about in order to move forward. However, aside from my doing that, or before I go in there, like there is a specific path to define and articulate your value, right? So that you can connect to the right opportunities and so that you are communicating more effectively to influence without authority, which is a very important element of how I support individuals, to help them to really get down to understand, okay, well, what is the value you have to offer that you want to offer at the next stage, and how do we join the dots to get to those opportunities? So there is a bigger piece of work to do around that. However, what I want to share with you today is 3 ways that you can articulate your value and increase your visibility in senior leadership. So 3 ways you can actually start doing this right now to help you to move forward. So the first one is around quantifying your contributions. So what I mean by this is starting by translating your achievements into numbers. Like, what is tangible? Like, what is a tangible result? If you led a project, highlight the percentage or increased efficiency that you brought to that, the revenue growth maybe, or the cost savings, etc., etc. So numbers really draw attention and provide tangible evidence of what you have achieved, right? So when you're articulating your value, the first thing I'd encourage you to do is quantify your contributions. Just don't talk about what it is you've achieved or bring it into your conversations. You want to talk about the tangible results. Now, when I'm talking about articulating your value, it's not about just every opportunity you get, you're going to share with people a story of your value. There's many different ways of doing this, and actually that's not the way to do it. You want to be able to use many different ways to communicate your value, articulate your value. And there's a whole series of ways you can do that I work with individuals to help achieve that, of how you can literally sprinkle this into what you're doing every single day so that people get to really understand the value you offer, where you bring it, and all the rest, which is going to give you those opportunities. But unfortunately, the problem is a lot of people don't have this figured out in their own head. So it's not going to help them to be able to articulate that value on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So getting back on track here then. So the 3 ways. The first way is to quantify your contributions. The second way is to cultivate your personal brand. Really, really important. You need to start thinking about yourself as a brand. And for some people that might sound a bit strange, but we have an offer, like as in like the value you offer. You have a job title. That job title has a certain amount of outcomes that are expected of it. So I would even go behind that and say, forget the title for a second and think about what is it of the value that you have demonstrated in your career up to now that you want to bring forward to the next stage in your career, where you feel most confident, most confident, and enjoy the most. And think about what are the strengths and unique traits and the value that you bring there. What is it about that? Okay, so really understand about that brand and figure out exactly, well, what is it that you want to be known for? Really, really important to do that. And in doing that, you want to be able to share your insights, your perspective, your expertise in the space, both internally within your organization and also within your industry. And you need to be consistent with that messaging, right? Everything you do needs to be around building that brand. And of course, yes, absolutely. Cultivating your brand and building your brand, you have to do the pre-work first around understanding your value. But even where you're at today, if you haven't that work done, it is really important to understand how are you building that brand, as in, as I say, when you're not in the room, what are people going to say about you? What is the reputation that you're building? And be really conscious and intentional about that. And the third one is about networking. And actively networking is really, really important. And some people don't like that term. They're like, oh, networking, do I have to do that? But networking is like everything from people you meet every single day to events you might go to. But it's all really just about developing relationships. And, within your immediate team, but not just within your immediate team, but, across departments, with senior leadership roles in the organization. How can you get to connect more with others and help them to understand and share with them the value you have to offer? So give them value, let them hear the value you have to offer, how you can, help them out in a certain way, and then, vice versa, and helping each other back as well. So mutually on that regard. So, obviously there's attending events, seminars, workshops, webinars, all those things. Also deciding to be part of cross-functional teams. A great way to demonstrate your value is be a representative from your area, from your department, and cross-functional teams. Also offering to mentor junior employees. And also, of course, getting a mentor for yourself is really, really important. So that's going to help you to build advocates within the organization. So that's the three. I have a bunch more of them, but they're the three that I want you to start thinking about today. And they are about quantifying your contributions, cultivating your personal brand, and networking. So thinking about how this relates to you and where you're at on your journey to senior leadership is really, really important, because there is a really defined path of helping you to overcome the obstacles. I mean, there are lots of obstacles and challenges to getting to where you want to be, and the way around that, one of the ways around that is really understanding your value, what it is you have to offer. And I have to say, this is one of the biggest pieces of work that I do with individuals to help them to build the confidence and to get the clarity around, well, actually, what is next for me in my career? And for those of individuals who are clear on what they want, it's helping them to actually navigate, or how do I get there, without the overwhelm? How do I really make progress? So that's really what I want to share with you today. So if any questions, anything that I've shared today, drop me an email or put a question in the comments. I'd be very happy to answer those questions. And if I've shared anything with you today that is resonating with the challenges that you're facing, send me a message and I'd be happy to discuss a path to help you to move closer to your goals. Also, I'm actually running a free webinar coming up next week on Monday. It's going to be Monday, Tuesday at lunchtime. And what I'm going to be talking about there is 6 steps to unleash your leadership potential for those who are from senior manager to C-suite and anywhere in between. So what I'm going to be sharing, those 6 steps, are the core elements of one of my executive programs, which is called the Career Success Accelerator Program. And I will be sharing this framework with you at this free webinar next Monday and Tuesday at 1 p.m. each day. I'm going to go through the 6. I'm going to share 3 on Monday, 3 of the other steps on Tuesday, because I do really want to share with you not just what they are. I want to share with you what they really mean and what immediate step you can take. So if this is of interest to you, I'm going to put a link into the comments where you can click on the link and register your place. It is a free webinar. There are a limited number of places available. So if you want to be part of that, go ahead and register your place. And I'd be really happy to have you join me next Monday and Tuesday at 1 o'clock. It's 1 hour, almost 1 hour each day to help you understand more. And I suppose I'll help you to add to what you're learning about how you need to navigate your career to the next stage. So thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you have any questions from today, drop me a message, put a question in the comments, and I'd be really happy to get back to you. And also, if there's any topics you would like me to speak about over the next few weeks on this Senior to C-Suite series, again, drop me a message or drop it in the comments, and I'd be happy to include that over the next few weeks. So have a great week, everybody, and we'll chat to you very soon.